Last time out on Creeper World 4, we visited the Wave in the Colonies area. We'll be doing more fan maps from there in the future, but I'm heading over to Span Experiments for this particular one. And this is a collection of a little over 2 dozen maps that were made in development, a few of them in the demo. For this one, we're going to do Far York Farm. And this is not a particularly difficult map, but I think it has some interesting aspects that are worth looking at in terms of the possibilities for making custom missions and looking at map creation a bit differently. We've got Once a Peaceful World. Not anymore, apparently. And Far York, of course, is a planet that has history in Creeper World from previous games. So area scans complete. Bit of a briefing here. Intelligent activity greater than 100 years ago. Remnants consistent with a thriving civilization. We've got this picture. It's being transmitted by one of the orbital satellites. We can see a thriving pastoral scene here. Everything looks wonderful, except, of course, the creeper is coming, and soon everything is to be destroyed. Now, interestingly enough, we have a bunch of buildings about. I think these are actually old, farmsteads or whatever with their fields. So the creeper, more over here, more over here. So the creeper's around, but it didn't destroy everything for whatever reason. In any case, we have a big, huge area here. We've got a couple ultra caps to get energy from. We've got Greenar and Redon, and we have all of this resource terrain. Even though it's not solid, we can still get a lot out of there. Buried urns. And then down here, we also have different, crates of energy being stored. So we can do quite a bit over in this way as well. And that's really going to influence our starting. Then we've got a dark tower with an info cache. And this is a custom built unit known as the Sweeper. Requires Liftic, as you can see if you zoom in really close on it. Then we have some roughly standard strength emitters, 50 every half a second. More ruins, there's a stash, there's spore launchers, blob nest. And then this will make sure that there's always at least a decent amount of creeper to resist us, as we've got the breeder terrain there as well. More ruins, more buried urns. Lots of room and resources, though, for us to start off on this. And then I like the objectives here, because we've been mostly doing maps that have required objectives and optional objectives, but these we can actually choose. We can nullify enemies or activate the totems or reclaim. We can pick any one of those three. We can do them all. It's just sort of gives you a minimum standard, but it doesn't give you specific requirements. You have a choice. So I thought that was an interesting approach. So here is our initial build. Of course, it's quite expansive. One of the keys to this, though, which we want to look at right away, is the fact that I'm using both resource areas. Down here, I'm going to build some beacons for the Liftic to get into this dark area. I've got some sprayers to utilize anti-creeper, a couple mortars to hold all this off from this direction. And then I want to get an urn in this pylon as quickly as I can. That'll build across and get this all together. Now, the towers won't actually build out their Soylent until this is fully connected, but they can get built up and running, and we can have an area here where we can hold off the creeper and gain all of this and eventually grab all the bonus from all of these trees to boost our early energy. So as we come up here, I'm initially going to just let this roll. I want to use this up. That's why I've got all this stuff turned off, because I want the initial energy to just go to towers and just get everything moving. And now our storage is gone. Well, the ultra caps are gone. Still have some in the Rift Lab. It's working its way downwards. There we go. And now we'll move you along. Now that we're in deficit, we can efficiently turn on everything else, which will eventually get built. And of course, that whole area to the south doing its thing, but a little bit occupied at the moment by getting all of this rolling. And one more up there. And then we're going to turn on these runways. I have 6 groups of approximately 10 bombers each. And they're all pre-targeted, so as soon as I turn them on, they will go to their destinations. Of course, it is not time for that just yet. Turn on some of these other things that we have going. Of course, let's get our urn portal rolling and our factory. Those are always going to be important. Relays. Pylons. can be tempting to call them their old name from previous games. They are definitely pylons in Creeper World 4. So everything now on. You can see this is all now connected. We've got the urn here. All of that's working, and we're going to get more of those in soon, but we're still in deficit, so we just sort of have to wait here. We can see the AC going out, and we should soon now be getting these mortars starting to fire. Yep. And now they're going to be able to hold this back. Okay, now we have energy. Boom, let's go. Let's go ahead and launch bombers. I'm going to set off 3 sets at first. We'll do the other ones later. Of course, all the runways are still building. And then we're starting to get these urns in. So we're going to want those. We'll grab energy first. And I am going to then also begin to throw mortars down this way. I also want to connect one more tower here, because I want to get this totem. So we're just adding to our mortars around here to be secure. I'm going to throw up some cannons and throw up some additional snipers. Now down this way. Same basic idea. Mortars. Add to our initial weapons pool. And, you know, being fast on this map seems to me to be a function of how much you're willing to pause, how fast you are at moving things around, because the amount of resources you have compared to the Creeper, I mean, you can really go on a big attack very, very soon in this mission. And how are we doing here on these bombers? I think we're doing well energy-wise. I'm going to go ahead and get the other 3 going. And then we can just adjust their targeting as need be. We may have some deficit here, but if we do, it won't last long. Everything there is up. Let's get the rest of these urns all in place. Very nice. Okay. Now, I want to begin really making a nuisance of myself. And let's throw some of these over here as well. Perhaps throwing a sniper over this way would be good. And one over this way. And let's throw up some more mortars. Because you can probably never have too many of those. Of course, the bombers getting all of their work done. Let's begin moving out here a little bit more. And let's get some of these beacons in place if we can. I would like to nullify this as quickly as I am able. I think that's going to work. Okay. And then I'm going to want to shift some of these over this way. And these other mortars can join as well. May sort of be overkill, but I would rather have that than the alternative. Beacons forward. There we go. Another one up. And once again, we'll just move forward. Let's go ahead and start throwing some additional pylons up around here. There we go. We're holding this okay over here, I think. Alright. Whoops. Let's just sort of come around through this area. Spread out. Get a nullifier up. Take care of that dark tower. And maybe move you up. Oh, lost something. Let's go ahead and get up here, and we just need more firepower to the front. And let's also get our Terp over here to get that buried urn. We don't particularly need it, but it would be nice. Pylon here. And nullifier is coming up. I think I'm ready to retask now all of you. So you're going to hit there, because that's going to be my first goal. My aim in this map in terms of how I want to complete it is I'm just going to go for the totems. Again, there are multiple ways, but that's what I'm going to do. And let's go ahead and connect there, which will give us what we came over this way for. Info cache, and we will also get the particular sweeper here, which does something very cool. Okay, if you read this, hope you found a permanent way to deal with the entropic fluid. We thought the dark rift beam would save us, but the entropic fluid... Okay, I think they're talking about the entropic fluid being the creeper. All hope is perhaps not lost. I hope you found it. I hope it worked, but I'll never know. Okay, so they're referencing here the dark beam from Creeper World 2, I'm pretty sure. Some form of that technology available in this sweeper. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw this urn into one of these, so we're utilizing it at some point. And then while that builds up, we are going to pylon across here. And it probably wouldn't hurt now at this point to begin building these forward. All of this is in place. I want to get snipers out here. Eventually we're going to come up this way. I want to get rid of a bunch of those eggs. I am going to want eventually a shield. So we're going to throw that in. I'm going to pylon out here. Underneath this. Perhaps another one there. That should work. And once all of this gets in place, throw some few more of these mortars out. Just gradually advancing bit by bit where we can. But take a look at this. It sends out these beams and just cuts across the terrain. It's really quite an amazing thing. Alright, I'm going to... I don't really probably need them. But I'm going to build a bunch more weapons. Because I do not want to run out. Okay. Now, pylon, pylon, pylon everywhere. So by having the... That's probably not going to last there, but by having everything set up as I do, you know, having the bombers hit those locations, my idea is that I'm going to have them, you know, keep the mesh away from this area, and then we're going to form a path out here to this totem. And then I just want to gradually bring out my weapons along this path. Keep everything clear as I may. And we will form a connection up to the totem. Now I do need to bring out more snipers. And you're not doing any good back here. So you can come up that way. You can slide off that a bit. Got some eggs going down out here now. Let's go ahead and slide the two of you in, and that should form ours a nice connection. I'm just sort of picking up any stragglers. I actually probably don't need you out this way anymore. So let's continue connecting across. Perhaps like so. Bring all of you out here. Then we can see this is working pretty well. Oh, we lost something. What did we lose? Lost a pylon. There. Okay. You know what? I don't really care. I don't think there's anything over here that's a threat. So we're just going to leave that be. Okay, this is in place. I'm just going to make sure it stays that way. Totem there. Let's throw up a few cannons. Definitely have a sniper in place over here would be a viable strategy. Okay, then I'm going to move all of my bombers, because I'm just going to send you over this way. And then another group can hit this area where the eggs are by that spore launcher. And I think that should work out very well for us. I'm going to leave some of these weapons here. Take some of them with me. So take that whole group, I think. You can slide over here. I think all of these would do well to mostly come with me. There we go. And yes, of course that's rather severe overkill, but who really cares? So now we're going to move on to the next couple of totems. And I want to get a bunch now of you out here. Get those cannons forward. The shield, I'm going to want to throw right there. What I want to have happen here is I want to be able to nullify from that little spot, and the shield should protect it from any creeper, any eggs, any nonsense going on that way. Let's get some more of these cannons out here. And now we should be able to just gradually work our way up. We're almost here, but we definitely need more snipers. Let's pull you up here. And you as well. I'm going to build a few more, just to be sort of on the safe side. And that right there is exactly why. Pull you forward and you can see, yeah, we're going to get all kinds of eggs spawning here. You know what? You're not needed there anymore. Let's have you hit this area. Really doing well, keeping everything under control, I think. Oh, we still have one in that area. I didn't retarget those. Let's move those over here. Just help us clean this up a little bit quicker, but it's going down pretty rapidly at this stage, I would say. Let's just mass move all the way up here on this edge. And let's see. Let's create a hole for a pylon. That will connect up there. We can nullify once I create a spot for a nullifier, that is. We'll throw up a nullifier there. Lost a sniper, but there's plenty more. Build energy connections everywhere. And our totem is firing. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was Rift Farm. And of course, the thing with the sweeper down here is there's all kinds of different things like that you can do. It's a very powerful anti-creeper device. all kinds of different custom units that can be made for those who know how to do them with the scripting language. And then having the two different starting resource locations, being able to connect them together, just having the massive energy at first and being able to crush the enemy. I think it's fun to do a cathartic mission like this every once in a while. Let me know what you thought, if you want to see more like this or more of the challenging type. And I'll be back with more Creeper World coming up soon. Thanks for watching.